Hey, my lovely podcasters, YouTubers, all of y'all out there. Welcome back to the Pretty Fearless podcast with me, your host, Morgan Tracy J. And I am coming today to talk to you all about sis, lose the weight, okay? The reason I'm talking to you about this is because there's been so much content online about losing weight and things like that. But I just want to give you my tips and my encouragement. But I will tell you, here recently, I was taking some photos when I realized I finally could see the 31-pound weight loss. And I don't know about anybody else, but it is really hard to see that when you're used to the way you normally look, okay? And so I do think there's a little bit of like body dysmorphia, weight blindness, something there with this. But I'm really today coming to you to encourage you to lose the weight. Are you struggling with your health? Are you mentally kind of down and all that? Start working out, because not only is that going to give endorphins in your body, you're going to feel better, but you're also going to lose the weight. And I noticed that a lot of my sluggish, a lot of my tiredness, a lot of even sometimes mental fog was probably tied to my weight. And there were many days I would have this really weird belly ache, if that makes sense. Like I always felt like, oh, I have a stomach ache, I have a belly ache, something. And I even remember thinking like, oh, do I have an ulcer? Like, do I have a stomach ulcer? Because like every day I would have a really bad stomach ache. And it wouldn't be, I always thought, oh, it might be dairy, so cut out dairy. Oh, well, it might be that, cut that out. It would just still keep happening. And so I really thought one day, like, do I have a stomach ulcer? And this was about a month ago when it dawned on me that you haven't been having stomach pain like you had. Like that stomach ache you would have, you haven't had that in so long. And so I don't know what that could have did. I don't know if it was like healed itself. I don't know. But I noticed since I've been on this weight loss journey, I haven't ate perfect. Trust me, I still eat my sweets. I still eat the dairy. But I have not had that stomach pain that was like always there, you know? And so I really do believe that was tied to excess weight and maybe just something going on. But this is something I would encourage all my ladies. If you're noticing some things in your body, that is where you want to try your best to take on and take care of those things. Because, girl, losing the weight, it feels good. It feels good. But I also have to say this. I've been here before. I've lost the weight before. I have lost like 20 pounds before. But guess what? Even though I lost the 20 pounds, I was still very insecure, very unhappy, very not feeling good about myself. And I thought, oh, when I lose the weight, then I'll feel good about myself. And so I lost the weight, and you know what? I still didn't feel good about myself. I still didn't feel worthy. I still didn't feel no type of way. So eventually I gained the weight back. This time around, it's been very different. And I want to share with you why it's been different. And so if you're new here, boo, my name is Morgan Tracy J, and this is our Pretty Fearless podcast. And so be sure you subscribe to the Pretty Fearless family, listen to us on Apple and Spotify, and also watch us here on YouTube in video mode. Okay, girl? Also leave us a review. If you leave us a review, you go in the running for some Fearless merch. So losing 31 pounds feels like a dream come true. And when I say that, I mean like God really blew my mind with this, because I was just restarting my 18,000th health journey, okay? And I was just being hopeful that maybe somehow this time I could lose some weight, okay? And if you've ever been a girly where you started many different health journeys and you've fallen off, then sometimes you lose, like, you're hopeful, but you're also like not putting too much effort in because you already know you a little bit. You're just like, you're trying to you're hoping that you lose some weight. You're hoping you stick with it, right? And that's kind of how I started out this season of my health journey. I started off the year very strong, and then I fell off because, you know what, when you start at 198 pounds, real quick, you realize that you can work out a little bit, but when the scale doesn't move, you lose all encouragement. You lose all motivation. And that's what happened really early on for me. And so I lost motivation, and I quit working out for some months. And I would go to the gym periodically, but I wasn't seeing no movement on the scale. And so that was kind of discouraging me. And what happened was, ladies, and this is where I say, I do believe losing weight, we always start off with the workouts, when reality is we need to start off with our food. Since I didn't start off with my food, that's why the scale wasn't moving, because I still had all these unhealthy patterns of eating all these sweets and stuff. That is where my biggest issue was. But for some reason, I thought the gym was my issue. No, it was my eating. And so if I could encourage anybody starting off their health journey, this time, start with your food. Start paying attention to the emotional stress and eat. The emotional eating, stress eating, the little chocolate chip cookies you always want to buy and cook. Pay attention to the brownies. Pay attention to the fried chicken you always get on the weekend. Pay attention to the frappes you got to go get at McDonald's every week. Pay attention to the little snacks you buy on the way to work or coming home from work. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to how many drinks you keep having of all these calories, sodas, pops, whatever, juices. Pay attention to that because it is adding up. And so that was the biggest reason and cause why I was not losing weight. I might go to the gym, but everything I was burning off, I was putting it right back into my body. And so that was, now I know that was the big culprit to my lack of weight loss. And I probably can say for some of you, your culprit is your food. It's your eating habits. But if you can just start saying no in certain areas, like, oh, nope, I'm not going to have candy. Nope, I'm not going to have that fried chicken this week again. Oh, I'm not going to go buy me a frappe. If you can start saying no in certain areas, what's going to happen is you're going to start watching the weight fall off. And so if I could go back, I would have got this thing in order. Okay. Now, what I started doing though is I did start walking. Okay. And I was so tempted to start running. All right. Because there was a lady at the gym. She was like, oh, y'all should be running, to me and my accountability partner. No shade to her, but she did put a little, like, I was like, dang, are we being lazy? Like, should we be running? I'm glad we did not run for the first 2.5 months because it helped me build a habit in my life. It helped me build consistency. And so I will tell you this, it is okay to start walking. It is okay to not go sign up for a 5K first. It is okay to walk. I walked for the first 2.5 months. I walked 1 to 2 miles, 4 to 5 days a week. That's all I did. Same time, same place, just walked. Many days I was listening to a sermon, I was praying, I was listening to a podcast or something that really encouraged me, or I'd be on the phone with my sister, but I would just do my walk, okay? This right here changed the game for me because it helped me build consistency, but it also helped me burn calories. In walking, sis, you are burning calories. And also, you trying to not eat that candy every day is helping you get rid of certain calories that you've been putting in your body. So you will lose weight. Sis, it's okay to start with walking. And I got to say that again because I felt a little weird to start with walking knowing I could probably jog a little. But I'm so glad I waited to start running because now I'm running and I'm getting the benefits of that. But I got started with walking because it wasn't stressful. It wasn't like, oh gosh, I got to get out here and run 2 miles, or it wasn't nothing like that. It was just like, let's go walk. Let's go put on a sermon and walk. We're going to listen to the sermon anyways. Let's do it during the walk. We're going to listen to that podcast anyways. We're going to get on the phone with our sister anyway. So let's go do it during that walk. So that's kind of how I started doing things. And that really set me up for success because it built that habit. And so I will tell you this, sis, if you're noticing your health journey needs a little pick up, a push me, start walking, but pick the same time in the same place a couple to 3 to 5 days a week. Okay. Do that. I do Monday through Friday, but I knew a girl that did Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and she would just show up at that same time, same place for her. And she would just do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And she has benefited a lot as well. And so pick the time that works best for you. Honestly, pick the time that works best for you. When you're on your health journey, you have to pay attention to your triggers. Somebody calling your phone, people stressing you out, money, life, too busy, whatever. Pay attention to your triggers because that's usually the time when you are most likely going to go back to your old habits. You're going to do the stress eating, the emotional eating, the binge eating, whatever. You're going to want all the sweets and all that. Pay attention to your triggers because they're going to help you so much know where you really need to be working on certain things for yourself. So for me right now, even though I'm months into this thing, I still have triggers, and there are some days I still emotionally eat. There are some days I still kind of stress eat, but now I'm more aware of it, and I can say, okay, Morgan, you cannot have 5 cookies. You can have 1, but you cannot have 5. You can have 2 brownies, but you cannot have the whole pan. You cannot do that because you're stressed out or whatever. Or find an alternative. You want something sweet, or I'm gonna make you a sweet smoothie, okay, or something like that. Right? So try your best to find alternatives to your triggers, but you got to be aware of them. If you're sitting on the couch and it's 11 at night and you're eating ice cream, you're probably emotionally eating, okay? You're probably stress eating or something. So pay attention to that. If you're always getting your late night chips and you always have to have a bag of chips at night, pay attention to why. Why are you doing that? Because that is a lot of extra calories for no reason. When if you say, I ate a pretty decent dinner, I don't need that. Now you're making better choices, and those better choices add up. They really do. So when I tell you to lose the weight, I'm not saying just so you can look good in the mirror. Amen. We love that. But it's also way bigger than that, and it's about how you feel about yourself. There are so many of us sisters in Christ that say we can't do certain things till we lose the weight. I used to say I can't get married till I lose the weight. I can't date. I can't do certain things in my purpose until I lose the weight. I used to say those things, and my weight held me back for so long. And finally, with time, I had to realize, Morgan, you've got to start these things. You cannot wait to lose the weight. And I'm so glad that the Lord allowed me to go forward regardless of the number on the scale. But there are so many of us that number on the scale is holding us back from moving forward. So sis, if you feel like you can't move forward, oh, I got to lose the weight before I go on dates. Oh, I got to lose the weight before I start that dream. I got to lose the weight before I start doing that one thing. I used to tell myself the same thing. And so I am coming today to quit holding yourself back due to your weight. You actually can do it with the pounds you have on. But then you can show people the journey as you lose it, okay? You can do it. And so I just wanted to come and encourage you with that, because I have held myself back for years because I thought I can't do that until I lose the weight. And now I've losing the weight, currently lost a lot of the weight, but still losing some. And I'm realizing I could have done it all along. And I'm glad I did not wait for this moment, because it would have took me years to get here. Don't wait until you lose the weight to start living. Or I'll wait when I lose the weight, then I'll start living again. I'll start going out more. I'll start doing this. Do not do that to yourself. Do not allow your weight to hold you back any longer. Allow your weight to be a tool that, oh, okay, I can do a little better in this area. I can do better in my eating, obviously. I can do better in my working out. You let your weight be the tool you use to say, oh, I can improve, versus the thing that holds you back. Because I was that girl where I let my weight hold me back for a long time. I didn't date for a lot of years because of my weight. And I'm so grateful that I started just getting past that insecurity and was like, I'm beautiful, I'm worthy regardless. And I started dating and stuff. But that held me back a lot because I didn't feel worthy. And so, daughter of God, today my goal is that you will break out of that cycle. You will break out of that bad eating cycle, that bad habit cycle, and that cycle of holding yourself back. Don't allow your weight, your insecurity of your weight or whatever to hold you back any longer. I'm down 31 pounds right now, and I'm glad to say I did not let the 31 pounds keep me from going forward. Now, it tried. It did. Those 31 pounds on my body did try to keep me from going forward, but I would push through that, and I'd be like, nope, you're worthy, you're beautiful, God loves you. I would really encourage myself, and so I just want to encourage you with that today. Encourage yourself through this journey. I couldn't be here down 31 pounds if I did not push myself when I was right around 200. I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be here if I didn't do that. And so my goal today is to encourage you to not let your weight hold you back. You can go for everything that God's put on your heart right now. You don't have to wait for the perfect time, perfect season, the perfect number on the scale, a certain look, because I did that before. You don't have to wait for the certain look to show up. You can do it now. All right, ladies. Well, if you enjoyed this video, I want to encourage you. I do have a free guide, which is all my smoothie recipes. So what's currently some of my favorite things that I'm drinking every single day to kind of help me on this health journey and to give myself to give my body the nutrients it needs. So if you are somebody interested in that, go ahead and click the link in the description box or in the show notes. I have all the recipes down there below for you, and I know you'll enjoy them. Thank you, ladies. I'll see you in my next one. Stay fearless.